Alright guys, good morning. Beautiful morning out here. I'm not in the red pine forest. That's normally what I would have said next. I'm out here in some of the bush that you guys don't see often. What this is sort of a mixed wood forest. We've got some hemlock in here, hard maple, some white pine, probably some other stuff in here. Two of those trees came down probably about 1.5 years ago. I finally got around to cutting them down. You guys would have seen me do that if you've been around the channel for a little bit. Got all the wood nicely cut up into approximately 16-inch rounds here today with my dad's help. We're going to go ahead, run my old splitter through its paces, get some of these split. Then we're going to throw them into the IBC cage here behind me, and hopefully, just like you saw me do a moment ago, we're going to pick this up with the forks on the tractor and we're going to back it all the way back down that hill out to the meadow for it to dry. Now the only concern I had with bringing the IBC cage up here, the trail's a little bit narrow, and that hill you saw me go up in reverse, that hill is a little bit narrow as well, and so I got to be careful going down it. Obviously if my left tire slip off the edge, it'll make for a pretty bad day, but I'll be careful on the back here. I've got some ballast. You guys can see I've got my winch on the back. That thing weighs 470 pounds. My tires are filled with beet juice or rim guard. Add all that up, you're at about 1,400 pounds of extra weight. That's on top of the tractor weight, obviously. And so by the time we load this up with some hardwood and some of the softwood that's floating around here, I think we'll be still fine. But nonetheless, it'll be a bit of a careful situation. Glad you guys are all here to join us, and here we go. This here's an old knockoff brand 6.5 horsepower engine. I think it's supposed to be a Honda clone. Definitely doesn't run like a Honda. I'm gonna hope it starts. If it doesn't start, well, that's gonna be the end of it for today. But it has been working real good lately. So knock on wood, today's the same. One thing you'll notice, the linkages are all kind of pooched on the throttle. And so it's going to rev right to the moon, and that's not by choice, that's just how it is. Needs a new recoil as well. And a carb clean. And electric start. Okay. there we go. My dad's taking the splitter there in the ATV. He's taking the long way around. We can't really turn it around too well right up here. I call this the high trail. It's up on a bit of a plateau. Nice rock ridge on both sides. This is granite rock, by the way, for anyone not familiar. We have a lot of it around here on the Canadian Shield. Anyways, we filled up 2 of these IBC cages, and when I mean filled, I mean like over the brim. We had to actually put some of the split wood on the splitter, strap her down for the ride back. Now, just a minute ago, you guys saw me take one of these loaded down that hill there. The hill might appear steeper than it is. Generally speaking, if I'm going down a hill with any type of weight on the loader, I tend to back down. That trail was sort of narrow, and so I decided, based on how the tractor felt, I felt like it'd be better just to keep the IBC cage nice and low, creep down it without too much issue. I felt like if I tried to back down there, I'd get into some issues, getting close to those trees and everything like that. And so I didn't want to back myself into a corner, as you guys can imagine. Obviously, if you've got a brand new tractor, you want to make sure you know its limitations before you start carrying loads like that with any type of grade. Also, don't take instructions from me when we're talking about tractor operation. Guys, this worked out quite well. As you can see, I loaded the logs, the rounds, and then my dad split them. We switched it up a little bit here and there, but for the most part, he did most of the splitting. I did most of the loading. That pickaroon, you guys saw that thing? Let's go have a look at it. That thing is a beautiful thing. I've been using that for a little while now with various splitting tasks that I've had going on. And this thing's holding up real well. It's nice and light. I could swing this thing all day. I don't get any type of elbow pain or tennis elbow, as you might get by swinging an axe or something similar. So this thing's turned out to be really, really good. All I got to practice is how much force to put into what type of wood. A few times I was jamming this thing into a piece of pine, and then I was going back to hardwood, and obviously I got to swing it a little harder with hardwood to get it to dig in. But then if I go back to pine and I swing with the same force, well, it drives itself so deep it becomes hard to get out. So just a little bit of muscle memory, as I've mentioned in the past, but this thing is a beautiful thing. Other than that, it's a beautiful afternoon out here now. We spent a good bit of time out here, had a sludge, took a little break in between shots, and good time all around. So make sure you guys come back next time. I will probably be out sawing or splitting or doing something similar, and hopefully you guys join me, and hopefully you guys don't forget, give this video the like-a-roo, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.